an early departure. We've already been out for a few hours and left Thunder Bay just after 7 a.m. That wind and chop, it's still flooding. Oh, now it's flooding again until about 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. So it's past that now. We're at 10:30. And so we just motored up from Thunder Bay into Pender Harbor, which is where we wanted to get to last night. Devlin had never seen it, so we thought, well, let's just pop in, take a look, and if we're in here, we may as well just top up our fuel. So we stopped at the dock, topped up the tank, and now we're gonna poke our nose back out and see if we can make it a little further south. It's early in the day, and the tide is supposed to be ebbing, so we should get the current with us, but we've also got the wind against us, so it may create some chop, but at least we'll have the current with us, as opposed to yesterday where we had the wind and the current against us. And we're going to go through an area called Welcome Passage, so if it's really not working out, we'll just stop in there. There's Thormanby Island, I think it's called. There's a bay in there. We could hang out in there in the southeast, and if we have to, we'll just stay there. We do have some weather days still, but we're hoping to get to Vancouver soon. We got people to see, and then we do have a flight back to Yellowknife, so we only have a limited time in Vancouver. So the sooner we can get there, the better, to see people and see my kids. So they're quite excited that we're coming soon. Yeah, so our goal today is to get to a place called Plumper Cove. It's near Gibsons. Plumper Cove is on Keats Island, and it's a little marine park, Plumper Cove Marine Park. I've taken the kids there before, but Devlin hasn't been there. And if you haven't been to Pender Harbor, definitely come up here. It's very scenic. There's tons of homes with docks, and it's still got that sort of disconnected feel, but not completely, because there's a lot of really nice homes. But it's a protected harbor, lots of marina options. The Vancouver Rowing Club has a dock. I see they've changed the dock layout, so I don't know how much space we have there anymore, but there was space available. We just went past it. But we want to continue south. We're hoping the blow dies off a little, but we'll probably do a little sailing today. We're going to try to get to Welcome Passage first so we get through with the current, and then after that we'll be out in the Strait of Georgia again, go down along the Sunshine Coast, and tuck into Plumper Cove. We have made it to Plumper Cove, and it's at Keats Island, right across from Gibsons on the Sunshine Coast. It's a marine park here, so there's a bunch of moorings. We grabbed a mooring, and there's a dock. Someone will come around later and collect money from us for the mooring for the night from BC Parks. And there's a little park area you can walk around, a little beach, if we decide to go to shore, which I'm sure we will. And we were just talking about how we miss the north. There's so many boats in here. I think yesterday in Thunder Bay, that was probably our last secluded private anchorage for a while. And probably no one goes there because it's quite deep and it drops off, and you have to be a little more skilled, I think, to anchor there.
And there were a bunch of private moorings, but no boats were there.
Yeah, they belonged to the people, obviously, that had houses along the beach there. But yeah, no boats. So, and we're used to that in the north, not having many boats around, but there's a big powerboat over here playing some kind of country music with metal drums, like Caribbean drum, you know, in it. It's and it's
Steel
really
drums.
loud. Steel drum. He's finally turned it down. Maybe he knows we're recording. Anyways, yeah, we're 1 day out now. I think it was about 30 miles from Pender Harbor, and it was about 12 miles from Thunder Bay. So 42 miles today, probably. We haven't actually calculated that out yet, but we'll sit here for the night, and we don't have an super early start tomorrow because we have to work with the tide for our final day of the trip, and that's going from Plumper Cove to the Vancouver Rowing Club in Cole Harbour. So, where it all launched off 3 years ago from the rowing club, that's where it's finishing, which is exciting and sad. But we're going to use the boat lots. It's going to be in Vancouver and available for use for us. So better to keep it down here for the next few years. Easier access.
How was the transit today?
It was good today. It was blowing southeast again, so a bit choppy due to the current in the Malaspina Strait. We went through Welcome Passage, a bit choppy in there because of the current, and then once we got out of Welcome Passage, we were in the Strait of Georgia. It wasn't that bad. We just motor sailed. The wind wasn't that strong, so just kept the main up and motor sailed our way down, and the sun is out. It's really warm. We're not used to this warm weather.
No more long johns?
No, every morning we put long johns on, and today they were off like right away. Had to change. But when you're starting at 7 a.m., it's still cool. So yeah, Devlin's never been here, so we'll probably get things put away and have a bite to eat, then maybe go walk to shore. I brought the kids here a few times. You can anchor here as well.
And so you have other memories from Plumper Cove?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. The last time I was in Plumper Cove was with my dad and my kids, and we were leaving the mouth of the Fraser River, and I tie down my motor in the dinghy. I didn't used to tie it down as well as I do now, and we went over a huge wave, and the motor went right out. I was watching it. It went right out. It launched, and it was gone. And I thought, we've lost the motor, the little black outboard Suzuki. So, about 10 minutes later, I looked back, kind of like sad, in a sad way, and I saw the dinghy was tracking really funny. And I could see the red rope that was tied to the motor was still tight, and the motor was still tied on. So once we got out of the rough water at the mouth of the Fraser River, we pulled it up. I jumped in. I hauled it up by hand, pulled it into the boat, tied it down super good. So our destination that day was here, and Tate and I spent the afternoon flushing the whole motor and putting new oil in it and drying out the spark plug, and it's been running great since. That was many, many years ago. Now, I don't even know how many years ago now. 5, maybe? But yeah, still runs great, so...
There is life after death.
Yes, for the Suzuki outboard 6-horse, it's done well since, but I'm sure that took a few years off its total life. Yeah, that was the last time I was here, and I think that was the same trip where there were a bunch of boats anchored in here as well, and in the morning there were 2 boats bumping into each other, and it was pretty crowded. So this isn't too bad. There's still a couple moorings available, and no one anchored. Usually people grab the moorings. I think it's $10. So that's the day, and I'll probably do a little reflection tonight and sort of knowing that tomorrow is the last day. It's only 20 miles that we have to go tomorrow, so it's going to seem like a very short day. But we're going to see the kids tomorrow night. Tate drives now, so they're going to drive down, and see us at the club, and we're going to hang out there until we're ready to go back to Yellowknife.